to the glory of Bacchus.
Sing to the glory of Bacchus.
Shout 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 to the glory of Bacchus.
The city of Thebes will shudder to hear the name Dionysus resound.
Move out from the road as we come.
Make way for a god on the moon.
Let those who watch from the windows tremble in fear at his coming.
The journey from Asia is long, leaving gold rich Lydia behind.
The artist's journey becomes pure joy when done in the service of God.
Blessed is he who follows the God, who carries the nurses and garlands of ivy.
Blessed are we who dance on the mountains and call on the god by his many names.
Praise Bacchus and the madness he brings.
Praise Eleutherios, the freer of souls.
Praise Romeos, the thunderer.
Praise Dionysus and his gifts of wine, of the wild, of wisdom.
He comes as a snake in his cunning, as a bull in his power, as a panther to devour.
Dionysus, he comes to Thebes. He comes. He is here. Thebes, my mother's home, my mother's tomb, and my tomb too, if not for my father's rescue from her womb. Here, where my mother was blasted by my father's lightning, tricked by her jealous sisters, themselves driven to it by my father's jealous wife. My mother only begged my father for one thing, and bound by his oath, Zeus couldn't refuse, to appear to her as he really is, in all the fiery splendour of his godhood. He whose crimes could not destroy the son of Zeus. He cut me from my mother and placed me inside himself, an unborn infant, sown into the sky god's thigh, and so, twice born, of two very different mothers, I lived and was born again, far from home, in the east, and now I return. While I've been gone, Thebes has been poisoned, lies against me and my mothers, my mortal mother's sisters have blackened her name. Blasted by lightning, they said. What else will happen when you lie about taking a god as a lover? She got exactly what she deserved. And Agave, the eldest, most shameless, said, and it must have been father's idea. You can just hear him. No more scandals for poor old King Cadmus, no more royal indiscretions to shame our house. King Cadmus is blameless. These women are not. And so Agave, Ino, Autonoe, these blasphemous aunts of mine, I have come to punish them. They denied my mother's holy death, but they will not deny my holy power. They will dance for me, touched by the madness of the god. They and all the women in Thebes will soon learn the power of Dionysus. I have chased them out of the city and onto the mountaintop, where they will dance for me on Cathiron's wooded peak, where the garlands shake the thyrsus spear of ivy. The mountain beasts will fear them as they should have feared me. King Cadmus may honour me, but he is no longer king. Pentheus, Agave's son, rules now, and hearing of my coming, seeing the women of Thebes leaving, he follows in his mother's footsteps, doubts me, denies me, and forbids my worship where he can. Him I will punish most of all. I will show him who is God. You who believe, you who have followed me all the way from Asia, you will be blessed beyond measure. And you will also see what happens to those who go up against a god. This god does not forgive all sins. Spread the word to the people of Thebes. Dionysus has come. Bacchus is here.
By the blood of their victims as they drop the beast. Guards! Guards! Call Camus from the palace. Tell him Dionysus is here. He'll know why I'm here. 2 old men, an aged king, and a blind prophet are going to teach the young people how to dance. I've got the animal skins and thirsters each, and some ivy to garland our heads.
My old friend, I heard a voice from inside the palace, and I thought, that's the voice of a wise man. I'm ready, dressed for the god. Dionysus, son of my own daughter, has come to us as a god. We must honour him however we can. He likes the dancing. Where should we go, Tiresias, so we can dance for him? Shake our grey hair, shake the stiffness from our limbs. I'll follow your lead, prophet. Let's forget that we are old today.
I feel it too. We may be old, but the god makes me young again.
How are we going to get there? Shall I get a wagon prepared?
We should show respect and travel on foot.
I'll follow your lead, prophet. Take my arm.
The god will lead us both, and the journey won't be hard.
Are any of the men coming with us? Are we the only men of Thebes who will dance?
Only we have seen the truth. The others are blind.
Let's go then. Even if it's only us, we're not getting any younger.
It's best not to ask too many questions when it comes to gods. Reason and logic are no match for the traditions of our forefathers, passed down through the ages and tested by the generations. You can keep your clever arguments to yourself. Some people might look at us and think, aren't you embarrassed, dressed up and all that, going dancing at your age? I'm not ashamed. Are you ashamed? God wants us to dance, young or old. It makes no difference whether we should hear the call.
Tiresias, stop there. You can't see him, but the young king is coming, and he's bringing a storm with him. You better stay out of his way.
I leave this city for a moment, and when I come back, what do I find? The women aren't at home. They've gone out to the house and up to the mountain tops, dancing, revelling, leaping about to honour some new god they've heard about. Some god from the east, Dionysus, whoever he is. They call him god of wine. Well, I know what they're up to. And I don't believe for a moment that it's only women who are dancing up there right now. That's what happens when a woman gets a taste of wine. She's not looking for enlightenment, that's for sure. I've already sent soldiers to seize them. Some are sitting in cells by now. Those that are still out there, my aunts ought to know and Eno, my own mother Agave, will be soon. I'll put a stop to their obscenity. They say some pretty boy from the east has come here. All perfumed hair, milky skin, dances with our women all night long. When I find him, I will stop him tossing his hair around. He won't have a head left to do it. And now you, Tiresias, you're supposed to be wise. And my own grandfather, you founded this city and passed down the throne to me. Thank God you did, so we don't have to endure the sight of our king behaving so indecorously. Take off that ivy. Show some self-respect. You persuaded him, didn't you, Tiresias? I tell you, if you were 20 years younger, you'd be sitting in his cell right now with the rest of them.
It's easy to talk persuasively when you're talking sense. You talk powerfully, boy, but you are heading into danger when your words are so wrong. This new god you mock, I can't begin to tell you how mighty you become. There are 2 gods that shape the lives of mankind. The first is Demeter. She's the earth, the harvest, and she nourishes our bodies with her food. The second has come now. Dionysus is the juice of the grape, and he nourishes the souls, gives an end to troubles, and brings sleep at the end of the day. The god of wine is as prophetic as Apollo, as fierce in the fight as Ares. Don't be so sure that the strength of your arms is all that matters. Welcome this god in. You're a king. You know how it feels like to have people praising your name. Doesn't a god deserve at least that, and more? Come and I will go dance. How much you laughed at us. I fear your blindness, and where it will take you.
Listen to Tiresias, son. Pay the gods their due. Be sensible about it. Suppose he is no king, and you say he is. Well, then you're king. Everyone will believe it. But think, if he is a god, what an angry god it means for you. Do you remember your cousin Actaeon? Torn apart by his own hounds. The dogs he had fed from his own hands, boasting that he was a finer hunter than Artemis. Come here, let me give you some ivy.
Get your hands off me, you senile old man. Go and dance in the woods with the girls. And as for you, you who taught my grandfather these lies, you who dare call me blind, you are punished. I'll send soldiers to your temple, ransack the place. They will smash up the altar, throw away the oil, burn up the incense. As for this foreigner, This man of a god, this girl of a man, I'll have his head. Guards, find me that pretty priest. I don't care if he says every hilltop or brothel. I want that infection here in chains. He'll rue the day he brought his sleeves to Thebes.
You poor man, if only you can see what I can see, and the blows that aimed at you already. Come, Camus, let's go. Maybe with enough prayers, we can intercede on a king's behalf, and turn the full force of God's wrath away from him. I don't need a prophecy to see what pain is in store for Pentheus.
Holiness, Queen of the gods, wings of gold in the skies, casting your shadows all over the earth, do you hear the words of the king? Do you hear his words against Bacchus? Bacchus who brings us such joy. Did you hear him challenge the bringer of mirth, the twice-born child of thunder?
The laws of our God are a blessing, garlands of flowers, beasts, laughter and dancing and music and song, and the glistening juice of the grape.
The arrogant boasts of a fool invite only shattering blows. Nemesis follows hubris. This can only be so.
Cleverness is not wisdom. Ambition is not greatness. Life is short, but life is sweet. Moderation in all things.
Take me to Cyprus, to Paphos, to the land where Aphrodite is cherished. Take me to Pieria, the home of the Muses, anywhere the gods are content.
Our God is condemned by his own, when he only brings blessings and joy. His gifts bring pleasure to rich and poor alike, but his vengeance is swift and firm. Sire! Sire! We've captured our prey. He wasn't like you described him to us, though. Not wild and savage and dangerous. He came up to us, no fear in his eyes, all gentleness and smiles. He even held his hands out as we bound them. He seemed to want to make things as easy for us as possible. It made me feel ashamed to treat him so roughly.
But as for the other test, sire, well, there's some bad news. Those women we rounded up, those Bacchantes, clads and irons, locked away. Well, 1 minute they were all banged up, and the next they were all gone. Chains from their legs just fell clean off. The bolted gate sprung open without a touch from a human hand. This one who comes to Thebes, watch yourself. I don't know how, but he's the one working these wonders.
Let him go. He's not going to dance as well this place. Well, aren't you a pretty boy? I bet the girls love you. Long hair, soft skin, very seductive, I'm sure. Come on then, tell me where you're from.
Have you heard of Tmolus?
Yes, I've heard of Tmolus. In the east, near the city of Sardis.
Yes, from Lydia then. Lydia is my home.
And why are you bringing these rituals to the good people of Greece?
Dionysus, son of Zeus, has sent me.
Some local eastern knock-off Zeus, you mean?
There is only one Zeus. It is the same Zeus that came to Thebes and fathered Dionysus here.
And does he come to you in visions, this god?
I've seen him face to face, as clearly as you look at me now.
Tell me about your rituals. What form do they take?
It is forbidden for the uninitiated to know, but they are secrets worth knowing.
A clever trick to make me thirsty to know more.
The god's secrets are not for you, not for anyone who lives without reverence.
And what did the god look like when he appeared to you?
Whatever he wanted to look like.
Is this the first place you've been to spread the good word?
All of Asia already dances.
Typical of those types. I'd expect nothing less.
Their customs may be different, but in this they show more wisdom than you.
And when do you celebrate these rites?
In the night,
All the better to hide your perversions.
or in the daytime. Darkness will conceal sins, but even in daylight you can see plenty of wrongdoing.
Clever, clever. You'll pay for your words.
You will for your irreverence.
I think I'll cut off your lovely curls. First of all,
My hair belongs to Dionysus. I grow it for the god.
I'll take your thyrsus.
Take it if you like. That belongs to Dionysus too.
I'll have you locked up.
He will set me free whenever I want. He's with me.
Oh yes? Where is he? I can't see him.
He's here right now. Right in front of you. Your blasphemy makes you blind to him.
That's enough. Bind
Do
him.
not bind me. The god commands it.
And I am king, and I say you will be bound. Take him! Now! Take him to the stables, where he can dance in the darkness dance among the stinking straw.
I will go. But I will not suffer what I cannot suffer. The god will punish you for this. When you imprison me, you're imprisoning a god.
Zeus burned his lover. Consumed by holy fire, the deathless babe within her survived.
Hush, little one, he said, and be safe in my womb for a while. And he split open his own thigh to make a home for the god boy. God boy, male born, twice born, Dionysus.
Why do you shun him, thieves? Share in the glory of Bacchus. The time will come when the world will thank you for your gift of a god to the world.
When Cadmus first came to this place and slew the serpent that dwelt here, he honoured Athene's commands and sowed its teeth into the soil.
The seed of the dragon is fierce, its harvest was mighty but proud. The men who grew from the teeth of the serpent, child of earth and beast, had made Thebes what it is.
Pentheus, son of snake-born Echion, rises like the earthborn, challenging the gods. Help us, Dionysus, save us from this giant, whose rage threatens all that is holy.
Save us, Dionysus!
Come, Bacchus!
Help us, Eleutheria!
Please, Bromios!
Save us, Dionysus!
Save us, Dionysus!
Come, Bacchus!
Help us, Eleutheria!
Please, Bromios!
Save us, Dionysus!
Save us, Dionysus!
Come, Bacchus!
Help us, Eleutheria!
Please, Bromios!
Save us, Dionysus!
He hears us! He comes!
Earth crack, foundations crumble, lightning burn across the sky. A god is present.
The palace is shaking apart. Nothing built by man is equal to the will of a god. Close your eyes. Don't look upon the son of Zeus. The same fire that took his mother's life is now Bacchus to wield.
Women, why are you afraid? You who have faith have nothing to fear. But the house of Pentheus will burn and fall.
Guards! Guards! I'm humiliated, that priest! You!
Calm down, relax.
How did you get free?
Didn't I tell you the god would free me?
I outed all the gates barred, all the doors bolted.
Because gods can't pass over walls.
So clever, except when you should be clever and know your place.
Where it matters most is where I'm most clever. Tell you what, listen to this fellow's story and tell me if you don't learn something.
Who's...
Pentheus, I've come all the way from the top of Mount Catharon to tell...
Well, spit it out.
I've seen the Bacchae, the dancing women on the mountain. I don't know what to tell you, sire. What I have to say will only make you angry, and I don't want that royal anger aimed at me.
Tell me everything you saw. A fair and just king doesn't punish the innocent. I know full well where I can aim my fury. When the one has corrupted our women and led them astray sits right here.
The cattle were just heading out, sire, at the start of the day, to the upper slopes of the mountain to graze. But also up there were women, 3 bands. One led by Autonoe, one by Ino, and one with your mother, Agave, at the head. They weren't dancing. They weren't like you described them at all, sire, not collapsed in a drunken stupor or throwing themselves around indecently. They just slept peacefully, resting their backs against a fir tree or lying down with a pile of oak leaves for a pillow. When she heard the lowing of the cattle, your mother was the first awake. She got up and gave some sort of ritual cry to wake the others. Soon they were all on their feet, all sorts of women, old women, young girls, grandmothers, even ones still waiting to be married. They got up and began to dress, belting their clothes with snakes and putting garlands of ivy and flowering bryony in their hair. One of them,
picked up a thyrsus and hit it against a rock, and a spring of water gushed out. Another did the same, but this time wine poured out. Others had milk and honey pouring from their ivy spears. If you'd been there, even you would have knelt down then and there and began to pray to the god. I hid in the long grass so they couldn't see me. I remembered your orders to arrest these women and bring them back to the city. I didn't want to do it, but I knew what would happen if I disobeyed your royal command. So, when the time came, the mystic dance began, and they filled the air with their Bacchic hymns, calling on Bromios, Iacchos, Eleutherios, any name you choose. The whole mountain seemed to move with them. As Agave came near me, and I was about to grab her, she spotted me and leapt away. In that moment, they were transformed. They weren't graceful dancers anymore. They were a savage wolf pack, ready to rend and tear. She called out loud, "My hounds, we are being hunted." And I ran from their hands. They didn't hold any weapons, except those wooden sticks, the ones wrapped in ivy. But in their madness, they turned on the cattle. I watched a young girl tear apart a young bellowing heifer with her bare hands. Others were ripping fully grown cows to pieces. Ribs and hooves were flung through the air. Meat hung dripping on branches. Leaves were smeared with blood. Proud bulls were pulled to the ground by their horns, by the hands of countless young girls. It ended as soon as it began. They washed the blood from their skin. Snakes licked their faces clean. Welcome Dionysus to our city, my king. Think of the gifts that he offers us, the gift of wine. But also, think of what he can do if you scorn those gifts. You have heard what he can do to us.
This has gone too far. Go to the barracks, assemble a squadron, tell them to march to the top of that mountain and take those women by force. Their wooden spears will be no match for our steel. The men of thieves will be beaten by a troop of dancing girls.
You haven't heard at all, Pentheus. Despite everything you have done to me, I will tell you again. Do not take up arms against the god. Dionysus will not let you move the Bacchans from the mountaintop.
Don't lecture me. You'll be back in his cell soon enough. It's a wonder I've tolerated you for this long.
You are mortal. He is a god. You should be making sacrifices to him, not pulling against your reins.
I will sacrifice a great pile of those women, enough of those up to him, before I honour some fraud god.
Your army will run, chased by the soft hands of women. You will turn your brave backs as you flee the thyrsus-wielding girls.
Will you not be silent?
You have made your choice. Will I teach you how to bring an end to this?
A king, be told what to do by a slave.
I will bring the women into Thebes without their weapons.
This is some kind of trick.
What kind of trick is it? To give you my followers unarmed.
Forget this. Bring out my armour. And you, stop talking.
No. Would you like to see the women on the mountaintop?
I'd give my weight in gold to see them.
Really? You'd like to see them be wicked?
I don't want to see them drunk.
What, you want to see them? Even though it makes you angry?
I could watch in secret, in silence from the trees.
The god sees everything. If you came in secret, they would find you.
I'll come openly, walk amongst them.
Would you like me to take you there? If you agree to follow my lead, I can take you right to them.
I will follow you. Let's go now.
Not yet. I need to dress you for the part. Pick out a lovely linen dress for you.
You're going to make a woman out of me.
As a man, they would tear you apart instantly.
Right again. How clever you are.
We'll go to the palace and I'll dress you myself.
No, wait. Are you mad? It's shameful.
Don't you want to see the Bacchans dance?
Well, what will you make me wear?
A dress down to your feet, a garland of ivy,
What colour dress do you think will suit me best?
and a thirst as to hold in your hand.
Tell me more about the dress.
Its hem will skim the ground as you move.
What am I doing? I can't put on women's clothes.
If you want to spy in the Bacchae, you must.
How will I get out of Thebes with no one seeing me?
We'll take to deserted back streets. That way no one will see you leave.
Let's go inside. I will decide what's best.
Whatever you say, King Pentheus. I'm ready to follow. Go then. The laughter of Thebes is the least of your worries. Go put on the clothes that you will wear down to Hades, slaughtered by the hands of your own mother. You will certainly soon learn the power of Dionysus, a gentle, terrible god.
When will I next get the chance to dance to the beat of the drum, flinging my hair through the cool air of dawn like a fawn in a meadow of dancers?
The fawn has eluded the net of the huntsman pursuing his quarry, and races across the meadows and plains in a great joy of survival.
Who is wise? What is finer than to punish those who've wronged you? Honour. Honour is everything.
The power of the gods is slow, but it comes in the fullness of time. The arrogant man can enjoy for a while, but justice will come when it will.
Tradition shows us the way and the limits of how to behave. What has been passed down time and again exists naturally and forever.
Who is wise? What is finer than to punish those who've wronged you? Honour. Honour is everything.
The happy man is the one who escapes from the storm and reaches the harbour.
Everyone hopes, has countless hopes. How much will come to pass?
No one is happy in the end.
Prosperity and security come and go.
He whose life is happy for a time, he is the one I call blessed.
You who don't want to be seen but wants to see what he shall not, come out! Well, come out now! Show yourself to the world in your woman's clothes. Why? You could be one of Cadmus's daughters.
I can see 2 sons and 2 cities of Thebes, each with 7 gates. And you look like a bull leading me to the altar. You have horns. Were you an animal before?
That's because Dionysus is here. You see what he allows you to see.
How do I look? Is this how 19 stands? My mother has a hair like this.
Come here, your headdress is coming loose. Let me fix it for you.
Oh, I must have knocked it inside. I was trying to dance like a Bacchae, and I think I shook my head too hard.
I'll look after you. That's my job. There we go. All fixed.
I'm in your hands.
And I think your dress is hanging unevenly. Let me adjust your belt for you.
I think it hangs about right on this leg. But you're right, the left needs to be a little neater. Should I hold my thyrsus in my left hand or my right?
Hold it in your right hand and stamp on the ground with your right foot.
Aren't I strong enough to tear up a mountain and lift it up on my shoulders?
You could if you wanted to. Before your mind was confused. Now, you see clearly.
Should we take crowbars or use our bare hands to tear up the mountain?
No! You mustn't destroy the home of the nymphs, or pound with these pipes.
Of course. You're right. We mustn't use force. I'll hide among the trees.
Think of them all there as you spy on them.
I can see them now, getting up to something unspeakable. Take me there now. Escort me through the streets of the city. I'm the only Theban who is man enough to do this.
You do this for your city. Follow me. I will take you there and protect you, but someone else will bring you back.
My mother.
As an example to all.
That's why I'm going.
You will be carried back
Such luxury.
in the arms of your own mother.
You are spoiling me.
Such spoiling.
I take what I deserve.
You are a king of terrors, and it is to terrors that you go. Spread out your arms, Agave, and sisters, daughters of Cadmus. This man comes to you now, ready for his trial. My Lydian women, loyal followers from the east, come forward. You have nothing to fear from this man any longer. Stay here and watch my justice unfold.
Onto the mountains, list of hounds, and sting the women to frenzy.
Give them the rage that punished the man.
Who comes to spy? up, dressed as a parody of a woman.
Who will see the madman first? Will his mother calm down their anger, turning the once green mountain slopes red with his blasphemous blood?
Justice comes,
Bearing a sword and punishes Pentheus' enemy, of gods, of law, of reverence, respect, the sword is at his throat.
Pentheus tried to use a physical force against that which cannot be conquered. The strength in his arm is no match for the gods, for the turning of the planets, the heat of the sun, or the weight of the earth below.
Come, Dionysus, appear as a bull, or a serpent, a fire-spitting hydra, gold-smiling Bacchus, and throw your net around him who hunts your faithful.
Justice comes, bearing a sword, and punishes Pentheus' enemy, of gods, of law, of reverence, respect, the sword is at his throat.
People of Thebes, stop it! Stop your singing! Stop your madness! You don't know the terrible news.
The people of Thebes are all indoors. Tell us.
Pentheus, our king, is dead!
Hail Dionysus! Praise be to Bacchus!
What are you saying? How can you think that? How can you celebrate suffering? Where is the piety in that?
You know what he called us. Indecent, immoral, fit for prison. We aren't afraid of chains anymore.
Do you think there aren't any men left in Thebes?
Dionysus is our master, no one else. Dionysus rules in Thebes. Dionysus rules everywhere. We are free.
Still, I was brought up to believe that it is wrong to gloat over someone else's pain.
Tell us what happened. How did he die? We want to know everything. A blow-by-blow account. See if you can move us to pity.
Pentheus and the stranger headed up the mountain. I followed behind the distance. I am a loyal servant and I was worried for our king. We crossed a river and headed up to the uplands where the river were gathered, not waiting for us, but ready. We found a clearing, a little stream running through it, surrounded by cliffs, shaded by pine trees. The maenads were sitting there, keeping themselves busy with little jobs, some weaving strands of ivy round their staffs, some singing and dancing hymns of praise to their god. Pentheus said to the stranger, I can't see them properly. I need a clearer view. I need to get to higher ground. You won't believe what happened next. The stranger reached his arm across the open sky and grabbed the top of the high fir and pulled it towards him as easy as if he was stringing a bow. He then placed Pentheus in his branches and put the tree back carefully to make sure the young king was not thrown from it. The fir stood up straight and tall with Pentheus perched on top. When I looked back, the stranger had vanished. Then a voice, deeper than a chasm, echoed from the open sky. Dionysus called out in his own voice, Women, I bring you your prey, my enemy, your enemy, a boasting blasphemer, a violator of our sacred rights. Punish him as he deserves, take vengeance on him. The sky was filled with fire, and everything was silent. The leaves of the forest were still, not a single animal made a sound. The Bacchants all looked together at Pentheus, and as fast as a dove, they raced towards him. Agave and his sisters and all the other women. They started hurling stones at him, tearing rocks from the cliff face with their bare hands. Some threw their furzes at Pentheus like some cruel target practice. They tried ripping up the roots and tearing the branches off the tree. When none of this worked, Agave gathered all the women around the tree and working together, they pulled the whole thing right out of the ground. Pentheus fell from his high perch with a scream! Not because of the height of his fall, because of what waited for him on the ground. I don't know if the terror had shaken him from his madness, or if the god wanted him in his right mind at the end. But he was sane now, and he recognized his mother. He put away his headband so that she would recognize him. He called out to her, Mother, it's me, Pentheus, please protect me, I know now that I have done wrong. Her mind was still maddened by the god. She came towards him and grabbed him by the wrist. She put her foot in his ribcage and tore his shoulder from its socket. Ino grabbed the other arm, and Autonoe and all the other women picked up his whole body, with strength the god had given them, tore at his flesh. Deaf to his screams that lasted as long as he had breath. His body lay scattered across the field, an arm here, foot with a sand on it there. His head landed at his mother's feet. She picked it up and held it as triumph. She was shouting with joy, Victory! Victory! But her madness fades. That I don't want to see. I'm going now. The gods are terrible to have as enemies. Keeping your head down, showing respect where that is demanded. That's the only thing for afterlife.
Joy to the world! The king is dead! Let all creation sing out in praise! Dragonborn Pentheus returns to the soil, his mockery of their rights, his garlands and dress, a promise of death. Theban women, sing your song of victory, sing your song of lamentation, wash your hands in the blood of your child.
Bacchantes of Lydia, loyal followers of the god.
Welcome, your highness.
I cut this vine from the mountain. I will weave it into my hair as a garland to honour the god, to give thanks for the fruits of our hunt.
It is to honour Dionysus. You are clearly one of us.
I caught this young lion running free on the mountain, without a spear or net, with my own bare hands.
Who landed the first blow?
I did. I was first. Agave.
On Kithyron.
I watched his blood soak into the ground.
A worthy offering to the gods.
I was the first. I caught him.
Then,
Cadmus.
Cadmus, your father.
Cadmus's daughters. They ripped his... But I was the first. The exhilaration of the hunt. We should make a sacrifice. Have a feast. The gods drove this beast right into our jaws, but the honour of the kill is mine. Do you praise me?
We praise you.
All thieves will praise me.
And Pentheus?
Pentheus will praise me most of all. The son of a lion-slaying mother.
Then show us. Show us your prize.
People of Thebes, come down from your towers. Come see the beast that we, the daughters of Cadmus, have killed. We had no spears, we held no nets, only the white blades of our own fingertips. What huntsman will ever boast of his catch after this? Where is my father? He should be here to see this. And where is my son? Pentheus can hang this head from the walls of the palace.
Come on, servants. Bring the last pieces of my grandson. This is all that's left of the boy. I've seen this all before. When poor Actaeon died, I never thought I would have to see another grandson die, or see a death more terrible than his. Eno and Autumn are shaking in their madness, in a kind of waking nightmare. But Agave, where is the rest of him?
Father, tell the world how proud you are of your daughters, and me especially. See, these hands you thought were only good for weaving are the hands of a mighty huntress. Look at the trophy I've brought home for you. Hold it in your hands. We should have a feast to celebrate.
How can I even look at you? This isn't hunting, it's murder. What kind of sacrifice to the god is this? Bacchus has destroyed us. Dionysus, we deserve to be punished. Or did we deserve this?
Old people can be so bad-tempered. If only my son were as skilled a huntsman as his mother when he goes out riding with his hounds. Instead, he only hunts gods. You should set him right, father. Won't anyone bring him here to see my triumph?
God's keep her forever realizing what she's done. You will never see the truth. You will never think nothing is wrong, when in fact, nothing is right.
Nothing is right. What's wrong with all this?
Look up at the sky. Tell me what you can see.
The bright blue sky.
And is it as always is?
It's brighter than before, and clearer.
Your vision's been changed. God's power.
What do you mean? It's dimming now. The dazzling flashes are fading.
Who was your husband?
Echio, one of the sun men.
And you had a son. Do you remember his name? Say it.
His name is Pentheus.
And what are you holding in your hands?
A lion's head, fresh from the hunt.
Look again. Look closely.
I see. My son. My son!
Yes, Pentheus.
Who killed him? What did
I wish you never had to learn the truth.
Tell me! One way or another I have to know!
You killed him. You and your sisters.
Where?
On Mount Kithyron. Same place Actaeon was torn apart.
I remember being there. But why was he there? What was Pentheus doing there?
He went to spy on you and mocked the god's rights.
Why was I there?
You were taken from us, possessed by Dionysus.
Dionysus has destroyed us. Why?
For not properly honouring the gods. For not showing the reverence he deserves.
Where is the rest of him?
I brought the pieces down from the mountain for burial. No, don't look. Remember him as he was, not as he is now.
I betrayed my sister, spread vicious rumours about her and denied the god she carried. What crime did Pentheus commit?
Why did he have to suffer for his mother's sins?
He learnt impiety from you, threatened violence against him, and mocked his rights.
How can I bury my son myself? How can these blood-soaked hands wash my boy's body clean? I should be preparing him for burial, anointing his body with oils, combing his hair, washing his limbs, and placing him on the pyre. How can I do that when I did this? Can I bury my son myself without further angering the gods?
Look at me. Look at me like my mother looked at Zeus and was engulfed in flames. Look at me as I looked at you and saw only derision and disrespect. Your king threatens me with death, threatens my Lydian followers with iron and chains, but now those of you who still have eyes, you see. Now there is recognition, but too late. Too late. Wisdom with hindsight is not faith. Here's Agave, who kindled the first flames of impiety by spreading vicious slanders against my mother. No priest will ever purify you enough. Your hands will always be red with blood. You will never bury your son or find peace in your own grave. You will be unclean beyond death. And is that you, Pentheus? Oh, you look so different, cousin. You thought you were bold, strong, the son of a dragon. Do you feel mighty now? Mighty enough to fight with God? Meat. That is all you are. At the end of the day, nothing but meat.
Lord Dionysus, show pity. We have done wrong and we know it.
And I'm a god, and it is right for me to punish you.
Yes, my grandson, you are better than us. Be better than us, nobler than us. Show mercy, tell us when our suffering will end.
Your suffering will last as long as your race, passing it on from one generation to the next. And you, Cadmus, will live to see it all. Now you believe. All of you. But it's too late for you. Let others learn from your example.
Gods look down and watch us as we move through life, shatter uncertainties. What seems sure does not come to pass. Happiness is a fleeting gift.